Hello guys, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Prim's algorithm for the minimum spanning tree along with its example. Also, we are going to discuss about the important step that needs to be considered while solving a problem using the Prim's algorithm. So let's start. The Prim's algorithm is used to form a minimum spanning tree for a connected, weighted and undirected graph. Here the weighted graph means that some weight or cost is associated with the edges that are present in the graph. The minimum spanning tree is a spanning tree having a cost less than or equal to the cost of every other spanning tree. The more about the minimum spanning tree is available in my previous video, whose link is already shared in a description. You can get that video in a suggestion also on the top right corner of this video. The Prim's algorithm starts with an empty spanning tree and then it follows a greedy strategy to get a minimum spanning tree. Now in greedy strategy, we choose the locally optimal solution in order to find a global solution. It means in this strategy, we choose the solution that we find a best and beneficial at a particular point. Then we choose that solution and then we move further unless and until we get a final solution. Let us discuss an important point that needs to be considered while solving the problem using the Prim's algorithm. The first important point is for the Prim's algorithm to be applied, we need our graph to be a undirected, connected and weighted one. The next one is if our graph has a parallel edges, then we have to remove that edge. The parallel edges means that if for the two vertices, if there exists a multiple edges with a different cost, then we have to keep the edge with a minimum cost and discard the edge having a maximum cost. For example, consider the scenario here. There are two nodes, any two nodes that are present in a graph, node A and node B. If there exists a two different path having two different values, that is one path is having a 5 and second one path is having a value 7, then we can say that these two are a parallel edges. We have to remove the parallel edges, and when we remove the parallel edges, we have to replace it with, or we have to eliminate the edge which is having a smaller value and neglect the edge which is having a larger value. So the representation for this is after removing the parallel edge is like this. Here the maximum value is 7, so we discard the edge with a value 7 and keep the value 5 as it is. The third and the important point is we have, if our graph consists of a loop, then we have to remove that loop. Now what exactly the loop means? If for the particular edge the starting vertex and the ending vertex is same, then we can say that that complete edge forms a loop, that graph consists of a loop. If our graph consists of the loop, then we have to eliminate this. For example, I have considered the same example here, A and B having a value 5, and if is there exists any a path whose starting and ending vertex is same. Here the starting vertex is also the same, that is node A, and ending vertex is also the same, that is node A. And here it is called as a self path because it starts and ends at a same vertex. So if consists of a loop, then we have to simply eliminate that loop. So the representation after removing the loop from this graph is like this. Here we remove the loop having the value 8, so our graph becomes A to B and having the cost of 5. Now let us apply all these rules and solve the example using the Prim's algorithm. Consider the given graph. For that we have to draw a minimum spanning tree. As we all know that a minimum spanning tree is a spanning tree having the property that all the vertices that are present in a graph must be present in our spanning tree. So I have considered here all the vertices that are present in my graph. There are 7 vertices present, so I have mentioned all the 7 vertices here. Now in order to start applying the Prim's algorithm, we have to choose any particular node as a starting node. In this scenario, I am considering the node D as my source vertex and start constructing the MST from node D. So I have considered the node D as a source vertex. Whenever I am going to add a node in my minimum spanning tree, I will delete it from my list of vertices. so that it is very much helpful for me to identify what are the different vertices that are remaining and what are the vertices that I have already considered. So I have considered the node D as a source vertices, and at the same time I have removed it from my list of the vertices. The next step is to identify what are the different paths that are originating from our vertex. So the different paths that are originating from our vertex is from D to B having the cost 8. Second path is from D to E having the cost 14. The third path is D to A having the cost is 4, and the next path is D to F having the cost 5. The next important step is to identify which node to be added in our MST. Currently, there is only a single node, that is our source node is present in our MST. As we can see here, only a single node is crossed, means only a single node is present in our MST. Now we have to add new vertex in our MST. In order to add a new vertex, we have to choose such a edge having a minimum cost, because our in calculating the minimum spanning tree, our aim is to reduce the cost. So choose that edge having the minimum value. Here the minimum value is 4. I have chosen this edge. Now this edge is added in our MST, and the edge is connected with the two vertices, that is D and A. Here the node D is already considered, so we have already crossed. The new vertex that is present in our MST is vertex A. So I have cancelled the vertex A now. The next step is to identify the paths that are originating from the new vertex, that is vertex A. There are two paths that are originating from A. That is, one is A to D having path 4. I have already considered, so there is no need to reconsider it. And second path is from A to B having cost 6. So here the A to B having cost 6. We have to apply the same principle. Choose the edge having the minimum cost. Here the minimum cost is 5. So I am going to choose this edge because it has a minimum cost. When we choose this edge, the node F is now comes in our MST. Belongs to our MST, that's why we have removed the node F. Identify the edges that are originating from node F. From node F, there are three different edges. One is D to F, we have already considered is. Second edge is F to E having the cost 7, and third edge is F to G having the cost is 10. Now in this scenario, the minimum cost is cost 6, so I have to consider the edge and add the node B in our minimum spanning tree. So I have considered this edge and node B is added in a minimum spanning tree, so I am going to cancel it. The next step is same. For the node B, identify the edges that are originating from node B. From node B, there are 4 edges that are originating from node B. So I have already considered the 2. Now I am going to consider the remaining 2. One is from B to C having the cost 7, and second is from B to E having the cost is 6. Next step is to identify the minimum value. Here the minimum value of all the edges is 6. So I am considering this 6. I am adding this edge B to E in my minimum spanning tree. When this edge is added into the minimum spanning tree, the new node, that is node E, comes in a minimum spanning tree. So I am going to cancel it from my set of vertices. For node E, identify the edges that are originating from node E. There are total 5 edges that are originating from node E. So I have already considered the 3. Now I am going to consider the remaining 2. That is from E to C having cost 4, and second one from E to G having cost 8. Choose the edge having the minimum cost. Here the minimum cost is 4. So I am going to consider the edge having the minimum cost 4 and add it into my minimum spanning tree. As soon as I added this edge into the minimum spanning tree, now the vertex C is considered, and or the vertex C is added into my minimum spanning tree. So I am going to remove it from the set of vertices. Now the next step is to identify the edge having the minimum cost. Here the minimum cost is 7, but I am not going to consider this because this 7 is connecting the two vertices, that is B and C. But B and C are already considered, so there is no need to reconsider it. The second one is this 7. The 7 connects the two vertices, that is F and E. F and E are also considered. That's why I am not going to reconsider it. The next one is E to G. E to G cost is 8. Here E to G cost is 8. So G vertex is considered already considered? No, it is not considered. So I can add this edge to my minimum spanning tree. Here I have added this edge into the minimum spanning tree having the cost 8, and the node G is also added to the minimum spanning tree. That's why I have deleted this G. Now check whether all the vertices are considered. Here in our graph there are 7 vertices, and in our minimum spanning tree we also consider all the 7 vertices. That means we reach to the end of solution. This is the overall minimum spanning tree for the given graph. Now we have to calculate the cost associated with the minimum spanning tree. Here the cost associated is the addition of all the edges that are present in a minimum spanning tree. So cost is 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 8, that is 33. So for the given graph, the minimum spanning tree is this and having the cost is 33. Now let's move to the algorithmic part of the Prim's algorithm. Now, in order to consider the algorithm of the Prim, we first need to consider the different terminologies associated with the algorithm. The algorithm mainly consists of 3 different set of vertices, that is a tree vertices, fringe vertices and unseen vertices. I am going to explain it with the help of example. So as we saw in a previous example, here A and C are the part of the minimum spanning tree. A start location is node A, and now we come from node A to node C, and different edges that are originated from node C, I have represented it using a dotted arrow, and there is no edge from node C to node B. Now from this diagram, the tree vertices. The tree vertices are those vertices which is the part of our minimum spanning tree. Here, if we consider this diagram, then node A and node C, as I am showing here a direct line, node A and node C is a part of MST. That's why node A and node C is called as a tree vertices. Now, fringe vertices. The fringe vertices are those vertices that are currently not the part of MST but can be added to MST later on, depends on the cost associated with the edge. So for the node C, there are two dotted lines, that is towards B and towards E. It means that either node B or node E can be added into the minimum spanning tree depending on the path or the cost associated with that edge. So the node B and node E are called as the fringe vertices. The third point is unseen vertices. Now the nodes that are not belongs to either a tree vertices or a fringe vertices are called as the unseen vertices. Here the node D neither belongs into the tree vertices nor into the fringe vertex, so it is called as the unseen vertex. So now let's move to the actual Prim's algorithm. As we discussed in the example, here first we consider any vertex as a starting vertex and then find all the fringe vertex from it. Then we choose a minimum amongst all the edge and then add the vertex to the minimum spanning tree. Then we have to repeat all the procedure unless and until all the vertices that are present in the graph must be reflected in our minimum spanning tree. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you like this video. If you have any query or any doubt, then you can mention it in comment box. Please like and share this video, and yes, don't forget to subscribe my channel for more such video.